This morning for you on Daybreak, a shooting in Springfield leaves one man injured.
And the fight in our state capital over thousands of Missourians dropped from Medicaid coverage.
Plus, time for hunters to pull out the arrows as bow season starts up this weekend. We have the details on that and more coming up this morning for you on Daybreak.
Good morning, and thanks for waking up with us to start off your weekend. You made it to Friday. It's September 13th. I'm Lauren Vernon.
And I'm Joe Morano. A lot of people excited to get out there and get a little hunting going this weekend, huh?
Yes, we saw some excitement in the studio, too, from some of our camera ops. But, yeah, a lot of other folks out there excited, too, I'm sure.
So the details on that is all coming up. And also, you know, that's another outdoor activity. Everyone's always looking at the weather and wondering what's going to happen with that. We check in with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. Do we keep the summer trend going into the weekend?
Yes and no.
Didn't mean to stump you at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
this early.
yes and no. We start out the weekend a little bit more September-like, but already by Saturday into Sunday, we're starting to trend back into the lower 90s. So the relief that we'll get today is going to be real brief. All
right, good for the Friday night football people.
That's at least the good part, right? It'll be cool and comfortable on the fields tonight. Starting out with clouds this morning and some showers rolling through as our cold front finally gets here. We're still starting out warm, 70 degrees in Springfield. We've got the north wind shift, but that air mass has lagged a little bit. That comfortable air mass really gets in by later on today. We've got the showers in Springfield right now with some mostly cloudy skies. Showers have been really light. Severe threat is over. We're not even really seeing too much in the way of lightning right now, but a couple of some locally heavier downpours around Neosho and Anderson this morning, and that's about it. You'll have some wet roads and some light rain as you head to work and school. It's 72 degrees in Branson, 71 in Ava, and 72 in Mountain Grove, so still starting out pretty warm and muggy. That cooler, drier air mass is right there, though. It comes, it's getting here, but it just didn't arrive yet. So we're starting out with some wet roads this morning. Showers work on shifting south. We dry out as we head through the afternoon. So by dismissal, 83 degrees, more September-like, cooler and less humid with a mix of sun and clouds. For those football games tonight, it will be cool and comfortable on the fields with those temperatures around 70 degrees and dry. Joe, Lauren.
Police say one person was shot in the leg at a home in the 3200 block of Page Avenue. That's in a neighborhood southeast of the West Bypass in Mount Vernon. The shooting happened shortly after 7 last night. Both the victim and witness were uncooperative with officers, so we don't know how badly the person was injured. No other details are available right now, but we're continuing to look for updates.
And keeping crime in focus for you right now, after a long trial this week, Kenneth Davis has been found guilty of all 7 counts of abusing an 8-year-old girl. The verdict was read yesterday after jurors heard closing arguments. Davis is also charged with abuse of a child leading to death in the case of Kinsley Kilgore, who died last year in Douglas County. Kilgore's family members told us they were relieved when they heard these guilty verdicts.
It was very hard. Very hard.
He's going to get what he deserves, and it's coming. And today was a huge step.
Now, Davis is expected to be sentenced on December 6th. We move to some political coverage for you now this morning. Over 100,000 Missourians were dropped from Medicaid coverage in the past year, and 90,000 of those are children.
People all across the state gathered at the Capitol yesterday to express their concern. Republicans say a booming economy is one reason. Another is that people didn't want Medicaid coverage anymore. But Springfield Representative Crystal Quaid says that's not a good enough reason.
That is probably the overarching biggest issue that we're hearing from folks is just they didn't know they lost coverage because they never received anything in the mail from the department. People then try to call into the department to find out what's going on, and that was an overwhelming piece of the conversation was that these call centers are cumbersome. People will sit on the line anywhere from 30 minutes to over an hour, and the department will also admit to this fact that oftentimes the call center will just drop calls.
Quaid had initially asked Speaker of the House Elijah Hart to task a committee to hold official hearings on the Medicaid drops, but he had not done that yet. Quaid said they heard from lawyers that represent people trying to get back on Medicaid and says the biggest problem they're seeing now is lacking communication between the Department of Health and those people.
We're seeing a 5 to 7% increase for Missouri's loss of coverage for Medicaid compared to other states, but we're not seeing the same thing with other social service programs. So if it was the economy, then we would see that across the board, and we're not.
It wasn't just Democrats at the hearing either. Representative Mike Moon, who serves Ash Grove, was also in attendance. We gave his office a call, but haven't heard his opinion on the hearing. Quaid said she will still be pushing for an investigation into those drops.
For the second time in a row, the Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission has voted no on recommendations to improve the Galloway neighborhood. This has been an ongoing issue since last November when many residents spoke out against rezoning. Since then, several public meetings were held to try and find a compromise with the city and the neighborhood. Last night's meeting mostly centered around recommendations on the aesthetics and building designs in Galloway. But after a discussion, committee members voted against the changes with 2 people absent. The issue was already tabled in August and will now be tabled again for some time in the future. The recommendations cannot go before the City Council until Planning and Zoning approves them.
The city also was looking for public opinion last night on plans for enhancing a couple of alleyways in downtown. That alleyway lies between Robertson and Jefferson. All these improvements come with the goals of making people feel welcome while getting from the parking lot to other areas downtown.
It really kind of draws some aesthetic to the area, makes some improvements, allows a place, creates sort of a streetscape connecting Blaine Alleyway to Commercial Street, allows where we have some of our public parking, allows them to basically transition from there over to the farmers market or to Commercial Street and do that, have an area that feels safe and welcoming.
Once the final designs are approved, construction should begin in the spring.
Around the Ozarks, we're approaching the beginning of hunting season, which many people around here are looking forward to. This Sunday, bow season opens up for deer and turkey hunters. It doesn't have the big boom that firearm season does in November, quite literally, but plenty of hunters are expected to tough out the heat for opening weekend. Francis Skaliski with the Department of Conservation says they hope hunters will help them continue to track chronic wasting disease, a brain wasting disease in the deer population.
One thing we're doing with the archery season this year is voluntary CWD testing, voluntary testing for chronic wasting disease. We've had 116 positive samples in Missouri since we found our first positive in 2012.
Now, like he said, the testing is only voluntary this time around. Mandatory testing is in place for opening weekend of firearm season in November.
Just getting started for you this morning, still up on Daybreak, a new development, strange development in the shortage of Popeye's chicken sandwiches.
The chain says there is one thing you can do to get your hands on it. We'll tell you what in your Money Watch up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.